Gumby had been planning new things on his paper in his room. He was thinking of having a train in the basement so he could think up each story about himself as a driver. He'd been thinking for time while looking on his computer. It was when he had some surprising sight to see, he said, "Oh boy!" and "new buses, and also they're from South Korea." After looking at the film on his computer, he decided to meet them. He went out of his house and began his walk. He looked in the toy shops like the big ones, but he couldn't find any of the buses there. He tried the not-so-big toy shops, but he found nothing in them either. He even tried the model train shops, but it was the same story. Everything was just everyday toys. Then he came to a shop full of books. It seemed interesting enough, so looked through the window. In the display window was a book called "When the South Korean Buses Came to Tasman Sodor." "That takes me to when I went to Australia," thought Gumby, and he went in. He had a closer look at the book. It was a most interesting and extraordinary thing to see. "I'll go inside it," he told himself. As if by magic, a door appeared. "Huh?" said Gumby, puzzled. "That wasn't here before." "That's because this shop is enchanted," said a voice. To Gumby's surprise, the door had a mouth, a nose, and a pair of eyes. "Welcome to the bookshop. If you want to buy the book, you may walk through me and read it in the little room, so no one can hear you, and tell you to not talk too loud," said the door. "I hope you enjoy your adventure." "Hello," said Gumby. "What will happen if I read in the room?" "That's a secret," said the door. "Read the book and you'll find out." So Gumby went through the door. Inside, he found himself in a little room where he read the book. As soon as he finished it, he found a door appearing. It opened, allowing him to walk through. "Well, let's see how I can cope with what's to be found," said Gumby. When he came out onto the other side, he found himself in a seaside with a tipyard which smelt very stinky. He looked around for the buses. He soon found them. First, there was Garny, along with Roki, then Tayo, and lastly Lanny. Gumby walked towards them. "Hello," he said to them. "I'm Gumby." "Hello, Gumby. I think we've seen you before," said Roki, and they introduced themselves. "What are you guys doing?" asked Gumby. "We're taking unwanted toys to the tip shop," said Lanny, "plus a race against a truck who's got the load of other unwanted toys." "Who's the truck?" asked Gumby. "Dexter," said Tayo. "He challenged us to compete. Whoever delivers the most toys wins the race," said Garny. "I can give you a hand," said Gumby. "I hope he doesn't cheat like the blockheads." So the friends began to look for unwanted toys. They found Dexter, who was heading to the tip. "Hey, you bosses, finding less or more?" he asked. "Yes, we are," said Roki. "We hope to beat you without cheating." "I hope you don't either," said Dexter. They all left. Then the buses came to a stop. Gumby stepped out to see why they weren't going anywhere. "A tree? I'll bet that was Dexter," said Gumby. "I'll just move it off the road." So he did. "There, we'll collect the unwanted toys now." They managed to find what they wanted, then went to the tip shop. They caught up with Dexter, who was surprised to see they weren't far behind. "How did they pass the tree?" "Tayo and his friends overtook him. They knew his load was heavy, and he was at a slow pace." "Too much will serve you right for cheating," said Roki. They went on ahead, much easily, and managed to deliver the toys. After that, they waited for Dexter to come, but he didn't. He came at last, puffed out. "So you think you can win, eh?" said Gumby. "Let's make the race all fair with no cheating." "Perhaps I shouldn't do the most loading race after all," said Dexter. "Sorry for dropping off a tree." "It was dead, so it can come here," said Tayo. "We'll help this time." So they went back to get the tree. Gumby thought He better rest with looking in the tip shop. He said goodbye to his new friends when they left. Then he walked in through its door. When he was in the op shop, as if by magic, a door appeared. It was the secret door. "Time for you to go, sir," he said. "You need a rest." Gumby walked through the door, and, as he expected, found he was back in the reading room of the shop. He closed the book, and the door of adventures vanished. "Oh, it's gone." "That was fun," said Gumby. "My friends ought to see this." "They sure will, sir," said the secret door. "We hope you come back again for another book." "Of course I will." Gumby walked all the way home to his house, away from the town. When he got to his door, he looked at the book and found a dice. "I haven't played snakes and ladders before," said Gumby. "I'll keep it in my cupboard, then I'll remember."